Good evening, everyone, and welcome in our today's special event, The Next Normal, with our special guest, Dr. Jenna from US. Thank you for attending with us today and be our guest. So first of all, I want to thank all of you, and also I want to thank Harmony House for organizing today's event in coordination with the Bahrain Meditation Center. And thank you, Dr. Awad, for translating today's event to Arabic. So please, if anyone need any Arabic translation, they can go to the Arabic chat room. And also, please, if you have any question, you can write them in the chat box and we can answer them at the end. So first, let me introduce myself. I am Khaled from Harmony House Meditation Center, Kuwait. I will be your MC for today's event. So first time when I heard about the next normal, I told myself, what is the next normal? What does it mean, the next normal? And I remembered first time when I come to Harmony House Meditation Center, they asked me, who are you? And I told them, who am I? I am Khaled from Kuwait, engineer. And they said, no, who really you are? I told them, I don't know, who am I? Then they told me you are a conscious being, a living being, you are a peaceful, happy, loving soul. This is who you are. And I like this next normal for myself. I said, wow, this is a very nice way to identify myself, not just as a physical being, also like a spiritual being. And because of that, for today, we have our topic, the next normal. So first of all, let me read and introduce our guest, Dr. Jenna with us. So Dr. Jenna, I will read something from your bio. I will make it short as you told me.
Make it very, very short.
Yeah, but it's amazing. I want to read all of it. So Dr. Jenna is a spiritual mentor, author, radio and TV personality, and a speaker. She is a host of American Meditating Radio Show and a founder of the Brahma Kumari Meditating Museum in Maryland and Virginia. She served as one of the evaluationary leaders in service to consciousness evaluation and was selected by the Empower a Billion Women in 2020. Also, like Dr. Jenna also was served as a principal partner with Oprah Winfrey Network and Value Partnership on the Belief team, and also was awarded an honorary Doctor of Human Letters degree by St. Thomas Aquinas College for her many years of dedication and service to humanity. And she also a contributing author in the book of Mr. President, Interfaith Perspective of the Historical Representatives of Barack Obama. And also her mission was to decode critical current issue and offer perspective for folks to find clarity, power, and insight. And also like, it's many. And Dr. also Jenna was like a recipient of numerous awards of proclamation, including the President Lifetime National Community Service Award, the Foundation for Better Life Everyday Hero Award, and the Friendship of Archway Award. So, wow, it's amazing, Dr. Jenna. But I really met you, I remember in 2015 in Bahrain. This was a conference about
I remember
peace
we
of
brought
mind.
Mrs. Fulbright. We brought Harriet
Yeah,
Fulbright down. Yeah, that was a
and
great
you was
concert.
so humble. You didn't mention
Oh,
even you are a doctor or as a sister and I am a
oh,
brother. And this is
oh,
so generous of you to be so much humble. So
oh,
Dr.
that's so
Jenna, you
sweet.
want to
I'm
say?
working on it. I'm working on it. But thank you for making me seem, Khalil, like I'm so important. But thanks anyway. You know,
You are.
Marjan, everyone, thank you. And Om Shanti and Assalamu alaikum to everyone out there. And maybe we can just take a moment of just reflection. You know, we're about to embark on a very important conversation. It's about our future. It's about our destiny. It's about our right, you know, and how do we live in the world today in times that are so different. And I'd like us to just take a minute to just prepare for the dialogue between Khalid and I, and our time to just reflect on ourselves. You've tuned in not because you don't have anything better to do, but you tuned in because you want something better to do in your life. And you want to know what is next, and how is this expert going to enlighten me about perhaps what I should be looking forward to or what to prepare for. So let's just take a minute. Just take a deep breath. Try to see if you can just bring yourself presently, right here and now, and just be. In a way, just accepting that everything that is happening with you is for you, to help you. And on certain levels, there are things that are picture perfect for you. But on another side, you want something else. That's where the next normal comes in. So just take a deep breath again in and exhale. And if you don't mind, I'd like you to send your good wishes to the organizers, to the citizens in your countries. Send your love to your family members and friends. And observe how it makes you feel to be a well-wisher for everyone. All right. It's a great way to start our journey together, right, Khalid?
Wow, it's a very nice way to start the journey and very peaceful. It reminds me of the traffic control we do it in the center, just to
Sure.
slow down our thought, emotion, and it's a nice way to start. So may I
Yeah.
ask you the first question? For us, like what is the next normal? Why you have kept this topic? And what
Mm.
is the meaning of the next normal? Like we know everything about normal, being normal, but what is the normals really means to you?
It's such a great question because when the pandemic was about to start, I was just returning from Los Angeles, and I wasn't really thinking much about the pandemic, but yet intuitively, even when I came back, I remember taking all my clothes and putting it in the garage. I don't know why, just intuitively. But then my brother, Santosh, came to me and said, it looks like things are going to close down. Maybe I should go to our museum and get all of our film equipment and bring it to the house. Then we can at least continue with spiritually taking care of ourselves. And I said yes. And Sunday, we closed all of our branches. Monday, he had everything up and running from 4 o'clock in the morning onwards. And we started it out as spiritual vaccine because at the time we were looking for vaccine. And I thought that what we needed was a spiritual vaccine that could take away the fear and the uncertainty that was upon us. And as we did about a year and a half of production, we were live every day, Monday through Sunday, in the evenings. And then I ended up with a health opportunity. And as a result of the health opportunity, it started to change little by little from 7 days to 5 days a week. And now we do a special 1 day a week. So I realized through that, the vaccine came about, Khalid, and then I said, okay, then I think we're not as afraid as we used to be. Then what is next? What is the definition of normalcy? What really is the next normal? And Khalid, brother, the only thing I could think of was spiritually empowered people. There were no other options because everything had been on pause for so long that I think people even forgot as to how to function. And so what if the next normal was the emergence of a functioning society where people were no longer relating to each other from fear, which is fed by an acronym called ALGE, A for anger, L for lust, G for greed, A for attachment, or E for ego. What if after this, people were going to emerge that the next normal would be a society of people free of fear, which means free of algae. So for me, what's actually normal is that we're getting a life reset, that there's a reset button that has taken place. And it's as if we're going back to our default settings. And the default setting is a human being with character, values, integrity, peace, happiness, love. The answers they gave you when you went to the Bahrain Meditation Center and they asked who you are, and you go, I'm an engineer, I'm this. And they said, yes, but what type of engineer are you? Are you peaceful? Are you happy? You see? So the next normal is a society of individuals who have developed enough self-respect, self-esteem, and self-worth that coming from their behavior is an attitude of just kindness and peace and happiness and creativity and power. So that's where we came up with the next normal, that all of our shows would focus on giving tips on how to become that.
Wow, it's amazing. I love the vaccine of algae,
Yeah.
attachment, lust,
Lust,
ego, greed.
greed, attachment, and ego. Anger, lust, greed, attachment, and ego. Yeah, it's amazing.
Maybe it will be the next normal.
That's the
Yeah.
wish. Yeah, that
So,
there's none
so,
left.
so, so, why are you so busy of serving the world and changing the world like into goodness? And like, what was the thought calling you to make this transition in your life?
It's interesting, we always laugh at this when I talk to my friends because I owned two really popping nightclubs in South Florida in my early 20s, and always loved to look decent and dress in name brand clothes and drive really nice cars. But I remembered, Khalid, that in the club at nights, people would just come and sit with me in my office and just pour out their hearts. They would have their scotch and their cigarettes and whatever, and I used to drink 6 cups of coffee to keep me awake until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. But I remembered, I think it was always there, Khalid. There was always a desire to help, but I would still look out for myself. And I remembered looking at the lifestyle and the quality of my parents, especially my mother. There is a beauty about her when she went out to be of service in helping others. And I think that impacted something very deep in me. But I must say, when I went to India, I was on the mountaintop in Mount Abu, India. I knew something was going to be different for me. I just knew it with all my heart. And I think so many of us are searching for something. We say we're looking for happiness or love or peace, and if we are not that subtle, then we'll say we're looking for a good relationship, more money, health, God, time, a good job. Or if we're really, really not even connected there, we would say, I don't care, every man for himself. But even to speak like that to me is that you're searching. So I was just on this mountaintop. I stayed for about a month and a half. I was at the meditation headquarters for the Rama Kumaris when my parents studied meditation. And I just had a very deep awakening. And I remembered looking at myself in the mirror. I wasn't the same person that I kept seeing with these two eyes. I started to see myself from what you would call the ruh, or the spirit, or the soul. I started to see, it was very subtle, everyone. It was as if I was being given a higher vision of who I really am or who I will be. And so on that mountaintop, there was a deep presence of silence. Call it what you wish. Silence, love, the divine, the divinity, Allah, Jehovah. There was a very deep sort of a download or experience of this love. It just flowed through me, Khalid, and everyone. And something just changed, like these eyes weren't so focused on the world, but this eye started to see things, and it made these eyes see things differently. And when that happened, it just changed my whole journey around. And I think everybody will have this aha moment. You can call it an aha moment. You can call it a realization of something that you've always known, but didn't have the strength, the courage, the time, or the situation to emerge it or to feed it. So when I began to intuitively see a higher version of myself, my thoughts automatically began to turn in that direction, to feed that energy and to feed that vision. Now, this isn't to say that the nightclub owner, the woman, the this, the that was bad, but it's like somehow she began to see on the other side, even of that achievement, was something more. And so I started to feed that, and that's how I really got further into the meditation, because I had an experience and nobody could tell me that experience wasn't real. And so when I came back from India on the mountaintop back to Miami, Florida, I was different, and I just couldn't be the same. It's sort of like if you're single and you got married to somebody, the next day you woke up, you were in a completely different environment and in a different setting. That's how impactful my change was. When I came back to Florida, I just could not remember who Jenna was. And Jenna became a seeker. She became more caring about humanity and the choices that she was making that impacted it. She became more introspective in her intimate relationship with the divine, because it's private. She began to see things that took her away from happiness, and she would fight quietly inside of herself to not feed that energy anymore, because that vision of that higher version of her, she's just so stable. It's as if the vision that is so clear in her head is so stable, and it's unwavering and it's unshakable. And no matter what I decided to do, that vision showed herself time and time again. I don't care what you're going to do, but you will become this. So I just started to really move towards more that practice of that spiritual energy. And I think everybody has seen a better image of themselves, a better way of being, the way they speak to their spouses, the way they think about their friends. There's a signal that you get on the inside. You could think that better. Did you really want to think that? Do you really want to believe she's like that, and then something pulls you back, and then you want to be a better person. So I think inside of all of us, I just happen to have responded to my call, Khalid.
Wow, very interesting. I love this, aha moment, this awakening moment.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, in today life, the life become the world is so fast because all of the speed of technology, variety of information, like a spiritual market, you don't know what is true, what is false. And we are not like tired physically, but we are tired like mentally.
Yeah.
So how to have this inner peace, inner silence, which you have like in Mount Abu, this realization of the self, and
Mm.
slow down our thought to become more peaceful.
Such a great question. I was on the banks of the river Ganges for Diwali in India this year. And I was with a lot of friends. Some were well known gurus, and some were gurus that I had never met before. And all of them were on their iPhones and, Instagramming and messaging and texting, and me too. So I'm not removing myself from that. But I remembered capturing moments in silence. And I had to discern, everyone, what is the practice now of spirituality? And it's not just technology. It's not just, right now we're using technology to reach out for each other. It's good, no? It's not a bad thing. I need to perform good karma, good actions. I need to do charity. I need to give that something that's good. But when it reaches that point where I need it to feed me companionship, space, experience, laughter, entertainment, information, that I need it, then it gives me restlessness and peacelessness. And it actually becomes a drug of an addiction, where an addiction to a drug that is really easily accessible. And it's very hard to discern, when do I put my phone down and just leave it and know the world continues with or without it? And when do I really keep it and continue to be engaged? I'll tell you what's working for me, or what has helped me, or what has happened for me. As I scroll through, and I have my Instagram page, which is, I personally make those posts, and I personally look at that as my narrative and sharing of events or stories or things that I think I want to share. It's like inviting your friends over for dinner and just cooking a great meal and having a drink and talking, right? So the social media and the Instagram, it's like having a meal, sharing with each other. But I find that when I scroll through it, everybody seems to be trying to compete with to be seen. Or it seems like everyone's trying to do the best dance to get the most likes to be seen. And I'm observing adults performing actions to just get attention. And I think that's exhausting, because that's not the next normal, and that's not normal behavior. Normal behavior is actually just showing up as you are, even if you're not doing great, to reach out for help in its own way. And so I think what you're saying is that we are exhausted, but we're not aware that the drug that we've become addicted to is actually responsible for our emotional depletion, our anger increase, our insecurity and fear modality that's being fed, and just that insecurity. And so all I can do is to share with all of you out there, if there's a moment that enters your consciousness as you're scrolling through, you really feel drained, uninspired, as if this can't help me, put it down. Clean a drawer. Cook a meal. Call a friend. Go for meditation. Go for a walk. Play music. Read a book. Go to sleep. If you break it at the moment where you feel like you're feeding the addiction, and you break it with the awareness that you know this isn't good, I don't need that much of this, then you do it at that time. And it will help you, because in one way, science is very, very beneficial for us. And I don't know what we would do without a heater, because now it's cold in Washington. I don't know what we would do if we didn't have these lights or electricity. And maybe at some point we won't use them because we will be using this more. And one of the things that I've asked my students, Khalid, is keep practicing to send your well wishes to people. Keep practicing having good wishes and pure feelings for people. When you build that personality in you, when you build that energy in you, even if somebody has a negative thought towards you, it bounces off because you're creating an aura of being a well-wisher. So their negative thoughts can't even penetrate you. And even what's happening in the world, if the world is going through a negative state, it can't affect you because you're creating too much of an aura and a vibration of being a well-wisher. So it becomes a shield of protection around you. So even when you're using technology and all of that, there is benefit, but you yourself have to decide or discern, am I addicted to this thing? Am I using it because I need it to fulfill my void? Or am I using it for an act of service? You have to decide that.
You have reminded me when you say, like, when we go to the social media about everyone wants attention. And I remembered, like, Gulzar Dadi, she was the head of the Brahma Kumari organization. She would always change tension to attention, because maybe the social media, as you said, everyone wants attention and become tension. It is the opposite.
So true,
And
Khalid.
yeah, and this is the way you said, like, just sit, pay attention to your true self, have a walk, have a music, chit chat with some friends, and become like calm
Yeah.
yourself,
I was
because the
talking to
world
a
is
friend.
very fast now.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she was the head of a big church in Florida. And, she was out there, so everybody knew her. She's on her social media. And yesterday she just said, Sister Jenna, honestly, I don't even need any of that anymore. I really want to be comfortable with myself. I want to be able to nurture good relationships with people around me and even people who will come into my life. I want my spirit and my soul to be so entrusted in God. And I just want my heart to be clean. And it was so funny, everyone, because I said, it's funny. Muhammad, Abraham, Buddha, Jesus didn't have 1 million followers. They had only a few. And thousands of years later, millions and millions and millions of people find sustenance from their lifestyle and their message. So we don't need to chase after those illusions. We need to chase after our own virtues within and catch them and nurture them and share them. Don't you think?
Yeah, this is amazing. And I remember also there is a special practice in the meditation center. I remember, like, every hour there is a beautiful
Mm,
music, like a traffic control music, that we just sit down and stop whatever we are doing and just reflect in ourselves while hearing this music, and like it slow down our thought. And also there is another practice of putting a full stop, like for all the past thought, all the worries, like all wasteful thought. But I want to ask you, how can we put this full stop, like to stop our thinking? Is it, should I check and change myself first, or should I put just this full stop immediately?
The full stop can be a little bit painful if you force yourself not to observe a situation that has come to teach you something about yourself. But if you put a full stop, which means I do not want to serve this pattern of thinking anymore, because it's not who I am, and it's not it's not connected to my next normal, which is a higher version of myself. And then you put a full stop means I don't feed that waste or negative thinking anymore. I will feed the thought that takes me to a higher version of myself. So one needs to have enough discernment and understanding of the benefits of no longer feeding waste or negative thinking. You see, every thought that you have is connected to the manifestation of a relationship, money, health, circumstances, and situations that either you have come from or you will move into. Also, each thought that you have, if it's connected to the 5 innate, original, eternal qualities of the soul, love, peace, purity, truth, joy, if your thoughts are influenced by those motives, vibrations, intentions, you can have full faith your destiny is well. Your destiny is definitely going to be great for you. And not only that, you're going to spread that energy wherever you go, and people will begin to receive that vibration. So it's important for all of us to recognize that the transformation and the effort has to start within your being. You have to transform the way that you think in order for things around you to change. And on many levels, we struggle with change. We think somebody else has to change. But it was never that. It's I who have to make the changes for me to see the changes that I keep dreaming about over and over again. I feel, yeah,
As
like
you
the
said, like it's
times,
very
it's
new.
just, yeah, the times that we're in are just so enriching, right? It's that we've got so much of an opportunity in front of us right now that the more you go inward and pull from inside of you, wow, there's so much there.
Like as you said, we have like to bring our thought and check our thought where it comes from. Is it coming from guilt, from the past, from hatred, or it is coming from love, from peace and happiness of being who am I? And as you said, like it's really touching me when you said like where your thought comes from. And yes, most of the time I heard that one article that 80% we are thinking of the past and 50% of the future and just 5% on the now. So we are
Mm,
all just thinking of past, and nothing for the now, and only 15% for future. So what
yeah,
is the benefit of tiring yourself mentally and physically?
I
Yeah.
think that's why when we choose to meditate, to pray, to go away for a retreat, to try something new that is beneficial for the soul and the body, it changes the internal patterns of thoughts. There's scientific proven results that if we change our thoughts, our whole metabolism, our whole way of looking at life changes completely. And there are just so many experiments out there. Example, the experiment of the flea in a box, that they have the lid and the flea keeps jumping up, and after a while gets used to realizing there's a certain height that he can jump to. He'll never get out the box. They open up the lid of the box, and the flea has the ability to jump out of that box and go. But because he's so conditioned to only jump this high, he stays a prisoner of that situation. And I believe that until people actually begin to ask themselves the right question, like this sister asked you when you went to the meditation place, who are you? And when you ask these questions, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? What's happening to the world? What's my part here in all of this? And when you start to ask these questions, you start to jump out of the box of the limitation to the attachments to your name, your gender, role, religion, title, language, nationality, and even your body. Because the soul, my friends, it is bigger than all of that. And when you actually tap into soul consciousness or soul awareness, then you start to feed the virtues and the powers and the qualities of that higher self, and you bring it into your name, your gender, your role, your title, your religion, your language, your nationality. You begin to bring that energy forth. And that's the next normal, you see. The next normal is a society of awakened people who will not give sorrow to anyone, but they will also not take sorrow from anyone. And we need to strengthen the soul for that future.
Yeah, like, wow, amazing. It's influenced me. Like, I also, when you speak about the scientific research, I remember the term we always say, like, science and silent.
Mhm.
Uh, so, like this term, like, so how, like, in silence, like, is it like silence? You go in depth of yourself and explore yourself, like scientifically, and have this inner peace, inner power, and like peace of mind. So, does it mean for you to be this term science? Because I always hear it in the center.
Why don't we give it a try? Just for a moment. Everybody out there, just be quiet. Can anything with science be more profoundly powerful than your quietude, your shanti, your salam? Nothing can beat that. So, in the teachings of meditation or Raj Yoga, when it says that you should have more silence over science, then when you find that contented place within you, and you have come to realize you are not your past experiences because it's where it belongs in the past, but you are a living being having these experiences currently, human experiences, but you're at one of the most pivotal times in history where the divinity and the connection to the divine is feeding the qualities and the virtues and the values of your higher self. And when you are experiencing that, you're silent. You don't chase after the desires anymore. All of your wishes and dreams will fall at your feet because you don't come from a place of lacking anything. You are self-fulfilled, you're sustained. So Khalid, when they talk about the difference between the science and the silence, is that we give more attention to science than ourselves. And if we could just give ourselves more attention, then we will realize that we are much more powerful than science.
Wow, like this is very amazing, especially the silence moment when you told us be quiet. It really helped me to slow down my thoughts, and it's amazing. Silence is power, as you said.
Mm.
And I don't know, like, do you want to take us in
Into a
deep
meditation? Yeah.
meditation of silence? And if you want to discuss the deep topic of today, like the deep meaning of today
And the
topic, is
next
it?
normal. Yeah, I
Yes,
think for one, we've covered such rich
yes,
ideas and thoughts. And I would like to maybe connect with and I spoke about the vision that's pulling you, but I think what I'd like to do is take us into a meditation of what if. You know, what if you are not attached to your name or your gender or your language, you know, and will the soul be able to still exist and experience itself without using these external influences to give it a feeling? I would say absolutely. And I would say that one of the reasons why we don't feel self-fulfilled, or we don't necessarily feel our self-esteem or self-worth, or even feel the energy of the divine as a constant companion with us, is that we put so much energy into the attachment to our name, our gender, the roles that we play, our religion, our country, our language. And it's as if it distracts us from the higher vision. So let's go into a meditation entitled, What If? What if I'm no longer attached to these labels and limits that pull me away from myself? And then after this meditation video that I'm going to play for you, then I'll just close off with some closing remarks. And if there's a question or two, I'll do my best to try to answer. Is that okay? All right.
yeah, sure, great.
Okay. So just take a breath, everyone. Relax and just imagine what the soul would feel when it starts to let go of its limited attachments and interpretations of itself. Om Shanti. As I sit here in quiet reflection, I'm reminded how my thoughts create my reality. I've accepted that I am what I am because of what I think. So what if for this moment I choose to let go of my various attachments to physical forms that have limited my potential and my capacity? What if I chose to be free from limitations of thinking? So just for a little while, I invite you to take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. And imagine for a moment, what if I no longer had an attachment to my name? How would that feel? What if I let go of the awareness of the gender? What if I let go of the roles that I play, the titles that I own? What if I decided to release thinking of myself as a religion, a language, a nationality? What if I choose to just let go of the name, gender, role, title, religion, language, nationality, and let go of the awareness of the body? How would I feel? Who would think of me in this awareness? And who would I think of? I would think of God. And God's remembrance would fall on me. And I, the living soul, would be completely free. Let me just sit in this moment for a little longer and just be free. Now gently bring back the awareness of your gender, language, nationality, title, role, name, religion, whatever. Bring it back to your awareness and see if you can bring the experience of freedom and peace as you go out into the world and play your various parts. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. I think it's only fair for us to just take just 5 seconds of just silence and sinking into that meditation. This is the power of silence. This is the power of a strong and purposeful mind. And based on these thoughts, the soul can be rejuvenated by right thinking, or it could lose energy and get exhausted by thinking based on the attachment to those labels and having dependency or expectations or fear attached to it. It's up to you. It's your decision. No matter what situation or circumstance you're in, at the end of the day, it's your decision and how you choose to feel. Take a deep breath in and out. Khalid, I can't believe we've gotten almost to the end of our 1 hour together. That was the quickest 1 hour I've ever had.
That's amazing. How you take us in this journey, inner journey, to find our true self without any labeling. No names, no nationality, no passport.
No visa.
No visa. And that was amazing. Like, I understand like the depth of our today topic, like how you identify yourself without this all labels. You become free.
Yeah, because I've seen that, you know, the struggles in our world is because we're also attached to a limited view of ourselves, and we haven't been able to find the power to put the virtues or the values in them all the time. So either we feel inferior or superior, or we feel my gender is better than yours, my skin color is better than yours, my hair is better than yours, my job, my title. And it just creates a lot of energy in the air between people where you don't come from your best. So if we can come from the experience of the real essence of the ruh, the soul, and speak to individuals from that place, it will change the world, actually. It'll change the world. All right, so do you think we should take a question, or there's no need for any questions, no?
I think everyone just sending greeting, blessing, and thanking. I think after meditation, everyone becomes silent and calm.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll get some good sleep tonight too. So, well, I was very happy to have been able to join my wonderful divine family in Kuwait in the Middle East. And there's so much happening around the world, but there should be a lot more happening inside of your inner world, where there's just confidence and courage and faith and power and goodness flowing through you when you get up in the morning and when you choose to live your day or make your day come forward. Just push through, everyone. Lean into your goodness. Just follow it through. And if you're not clear in what goodness is, your choice should not cause sorrow for someone. And it shouldn't cause sorrow for you. It's a process, but actually get into the rhythm and it gets easy. So
Thank you,
shukran.
Dr. Jenna, for being with us today. And also thank you everyone for participating and for being silent also. And I just have one announcement, like tomorrow in Harmony House Meditation Center, from 6:30 to 7:30, we have meditation and talk experience. So anyone, if you want to join, you are free to come. And good night, and thank you, Angel, for all your silent vibration, knowledge, and jewels of knowledge you shared with us. Thank you so much.